So one of the commonalities when I was a child is that I would consistently challenge the status quo. And it probably doesn't surprise you if you know me, but that has been inherent from really early in life. And the one thing my parents did not do is they did not try to stifle that. They really accepted that attribute in me. And I don't even know if they knew that's what it was. And let's give them benefit of the doubt and say they did. But they never tried to suppress the fact that I wasn't going to accept what is. I was going to challenge it if it didn't align with me. And I have so many stories of me doing that. There was one story where when I was in 6th grade, I was in this program called GOAL, Galaxy of Advanced Learning, and it was for the creative kids and the kids that thought outside the box. And I was in this program, and in this program, I found the curriculum to just be painfully boring. I mean, every single day we did the exact same thing, and the whole premise of this was for really creative students like me that had lots of ideas, and sitting in a classroom really wasn't the perfect environment for them to create. And yet we did the exact same thing every day on the computer. And that thing was called Amazing Animations, and it was freaking boring. And I approached the teacher one day and I said, "Hey, Miss Klein, what are your thoughts on changing it up? Like maybe we could do something different than the same old thing every single day." And her response to me was, "No, this is just what is. This is the curriculum, Jared. You have to accept that." And for someone that challenges the status quo, like, I'm not accepting anything, Miss Klein. I'm taking it to my own hands. 100% responsibility. So I then made an appointment with the principal, and I went in to see the principal, and they knew who I was. I was a very good athlete. They're like, "Hey, Jared, what's going on?" And I'm like, "Hey, I just want to talk about the what is, the curriculum in GOAL." And they're like, "Tell me, what's up with it? Are you enjoying it?" I'm like, "No, it's really boring." And they're like, "What's boring about it?" I'm like, "We do the same exact thing every single day. It's called Amazing Animation, and I'm encouraging you to change the curriculum so it can be more interesting for people like me." And he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, Jared. It just is what it is. It's the curriculum." And I'm like, "All right, take a matter into my own hands." Went around, got every single student in the entire program to sign a petition. 100% of them, sat down with them and made sure that they signed the petition as I was looking over their shoulder, because I believe that they didn't even realize that it was boring, and I was here to enlighten them to the fact that this curriculum sucked. And everyone, literally 50 students, signed the petition, made another appointment with the principal, and walked in, "Hey, Jared, what's going on?" So remember you told me that I'd just accept the curriculum for what is. And he said, yes. Is it improving? I'm like, "No, it's still as boring as it's ever been, but I have something for you." And I slid a piece of paper across the table, and there it was, 50 signatures of students that had agreed that the curriculum was boring, requesting that we were going to change the curriculum. And guess what he said to me? "Sorry, Jared, but it just is what it is. It's the curriculum. Try to make the best of it." And I'm like, "Definitely not going to try to make the best of it, but are you saying no to me right now?" Because I am saying no to you. So I said, "Okay." Well, that day at lunch, I had this idea, which is there's no one in the library where this program would take place during lunch. So I was going to go to the library that day. And I went into the library, and I went to every one of those desktop computers, and I took Amazing Animation, I dragged it into the recycle bin on the desktop, and then I emptied the trash. And this is in the days of the floppy disk. So pretty big effort to put that thing back on every single computer in the library. And then my job was done. No longer the curriculum, challenging the status quo. And that afternoon, I remember I was in social studies. I don't know what they were teaching me there, but I was in social studies. And all of a sudden, the loudspeaker said, "Hey, Mr. Yellin, can you please come down to the principal's office?" And I went in. I'm like, "Hey, what's going on, principal?" And they're like, "Hey, we got a question for you. Remember we told you that the curriculum is what it is for Amazing Animation? Somehow, it was just deleted on every computer in the library. Do you know anything about this?" And I said, "Yeah, I do." And they're like, "Oh, well, what do you know about it?" I said, "I did it." And they said, "Really? So you're admitting to it?" I'm like, 100%. I'm taking responsibility for doing it. And they said, "Why did you do it?" And I said, "Because now it is no longer what is. It's no longer the curriculum. Let's make a change." There's an incredible lesson in this, because when I went home that day, what I would imagine most parents would do is ground their child. And my parents didn't, because they knew it wasn't malicious. This wasn't a malicious act. This was me challenging the status quo, galvanizing the energy of 50 students, and ensuring that we achieved the outcome. And one of the things that I talk about with entrepreneurs is, on your quest to impact millions to billions of lives, I can guarantee you that you are going to ruffle the feathers of hundreds to thousands of people or organizations. And the reason why most people will not impact millions to billions of lives is because they're too concerned about ruffling the feathers of the few hundred to a few thousand people. And they never delete Amazing amount of animation. And I'm sharing this with you because my parents did an exceptional job of enabling me to be what I need to be in this world. someone who is committed to challenging the status quo, to ensuring that the outcome is better for everyone, even the people who I ruffle the feathers of. And guess what? They changed the curriculum.